Greetings, bonjour et bienvenue, journalists, guests, all those of you tuning in on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to this online press conference. I'm Henry Bonsu, a Ghanaian British broadcaster, joining you today from Paris, not London. They let me in, despite Brexit. And I'm delighted to be here because today is a very big day. We're going to announce the 5 finalists in our epic Ecobank Fintech Challenge. Now, first launched in 2017, the challenge provides selected fintech startups with the opportunity to fast-track their growth through a commercial partnership and product integration with Ecobank's vast Pan-African platform. Now, this year's challenge attracted nearly 900 entries, which is super impressive and shows how keen fintech groups are to team up and scale up with Ecobank. Now, the competition is in line with the bank's commitment to championing digitization by giving innovative African startups the opportunity to promote their fintech solutions. So, here's how today's press conference will go. In a moment, you'll hear from Jiba Diallo, Ecobank Senior Fintech Advisor, who will shed more light on Ecobank's fintech strategy and tell you more about the Ecobank Fintech Challenge. Then I will introduce you to Tumi Mwaji, co-founder of Growth Factor and Ecobank Fintech Challenge Fellow. And you'll also meet Kiru Muhoya, CEO and co-founder of Fingo, a startup which was recently integrated into Ecobank's sandbox. After that, my journalist colleagues will have our first round of questions. You'll have to use the Q&A chat box, submit your written question either in French or English. And following our first Q&A, Dr. Tomisin Fashina, Group Executive Operations and Technology at the Ecobank Group, will announce our top 5 finalists and provide the next steps of the competition. So that will be the big drum roll. We will then hear from our top finalists who will make their way to the grand final. And after you've heard from them, we'll conclude this session with the second wave of questions and answers. And you'll be able to put your questions to anybody who has spoken during this online press conference. So let's get the show on the road. I'm first of all delighted to introduce Jiba Diallo, Ecobank Group Senior Fintech Advisor. And Jiba's mission is to raise Ecobank's support for the fintech sector by growing the Fintech Challenge and the Fintech Fellowship. She is an enthusiast. She's a tech and innovation supremo with a background in software development and has over 15 years in the business. Jiba, welcome to you.
Thank you, Henry.
Now, my first question, yes, indeed. I'm so keen to talk to you. How does this program work?
Henry, before talking about the program itself, allow me to already thank the participant. I want to say a big thank you to all the fintech participants to this challenge. And I also want to say a big thank you to all seniors that was part of the steering committee who selected the finalists that we are going to announce today. They spent hours and days on this with a lot of passion and commitment. So I really want to thank all of them and congratulate in advance the finalists and all the participants to this competition. So how the competition works? That's the question, right? Before that, I also want to highlight that this is a very important initiative for Ecobank because we consider fintechs as our potential very big partners. And it's a commitment that the bank made a few years ago because we strongly believe that the fintechs are agile, nimble, they are very fast in innovation, and we believe that they can help us provide cutting-edge innovation to service our customers. There's no other place where fintechs have such a big impact in the world like in Africa. According to the state of industry report, mobile money 2021 report of GSMA, the mobile money landscape in Africa, though Africa won't represent, in the sub-Saharan African countries, it represents more than 45% of the overall mobile money that exists in the world. And we all know how services such as M-Pesa, for example, are completely changing and impacting the way African population lives. So for us, it's very important to make sure that we partner with these innovators because of the impact that they have in the continent. So how it works, so the challenge was launched initially in 2017 from, again, an ask from all our board members who at that time already saw the big trend that fintechs were having and wanted to have a specific program for them. Every year we launch the application, open it, and invite fintechs to come and submit their solutions. We do a set of selections, as you may imagine. And once we come with the finalist, there's a grand final that we invite them to come and show to the world what they are capable of and explain how they can partner with Ecobank. And after the competition, we have a fellowship program where we train them on how the finance world works from our own staff and our own colleagues. And we also introduce them to our network of partners, be it accelerator or VCs, for them to have the opportunity to grow their business and raise funds. That is very, very important for the startup and the fintechs more particularly. So that's how the program works.
That's tremendous. You've given us some great background there and talking about just how significant fintech is in Africa compared to the rest of the world, leapfrogging through technology. And the most famous example, as you said, was M-Pesa. So tell us more about how you support fintech. Tell us more about the products and solutions.
So yes, I've already talked about the FinTech Challenge, which is a great example of how banks can successfully partner with fintechs. Since we launched in 2017, we have more than 40 startups that have successfully completed the FinTech Challenge and the fellowship program and keep working with them. In addition to the FinTech Challenge, at Ecobank, our strategy is to become a bank as a platform as much as possible. So we are supporting fintechs through our Pan-African Banking Sandbox, which was launched in 2020. So the sandbox enables fintechs to access Ecobank application programming interface that we call API in our world, meaning that we enable them to very easily connect their services to our system so that they can innovate more and bring more innovation to their customers. They can access and connect to the Ecobank Group Payment Service through the Ecobank API. They enable that will help them enable payment, collection, generate express token, or even open account, digital app account very easily through our express account API. So it's part of the Ecobank banking, open banking strategy. And we strongly believe that it will accelerate our partnerships with fintechs and other associates across Africa. We see the sandbox as a huge opportunity for fintech to access the 33 markets where we have presence, which is a unique value that Ecobank can bring in the market right now.
That's tremendous. And I love this term sandbox. It's so vivid and it's a tremendous thing that you're doing there. Now, let's go a little deeper onto the Ecobank Fintech Challenge. You've told us the why and you've told us the how. What we need to know now is key success indicators. What has been achieved so far? Tell us a bit about the companies, the outcomes. Please highlight some success stories.
Yes, I think first of all, I want to highlight the fact that since inception, at the beginning, we were not having so much participants. So we saw a very big growth in terms of registration to the challenge. From last year, for example, we had 600 participants. This year, we had 900. which is a 50% growth. So it's quite impressive. And the other indicator is the percentage of fintechs that go through the fellowship that we are able to partner with, because the long-term objective, of course, is not only to promote those fintechs, but it's most importantly to have concrete partnerships so that we help them grow their presence and their business. So when we started in 2017, we had less than 10% of the fintechs that we got from the challenge that we've been able to concretely integrate with. Since the last year edition, that has grown up to 30% of fintechs that we've been able to partner with. Very important point is for us, as I said earlier, to make sure that we accompany them and we provide them as much support as possible. Because we're able to accelerator and investors, we saw many of them being able to raise funds right after the fellowship program, through our partners or through other VCs and investors around the continent. So that's, I believe, it's a very important indicator for us, because at the end of the day, we want them to be successful. I believe, as I said, that the final is really for us to build a fruitful partnership with the fellows. And I guess the best way for us to hear, to understand how impactful it is to hear directly from the fellows, what benefit they've been able to get from the program and the partnership with Ecobank. So I'm glad that we have one of them in this platform, and I'm sure that they will be able to provide more details on how to support them during the journey.
Jiba, thank you very much for that. You've given what they say in radio is a beautiful segue. You've enabled me to go neatly from you onto our next speaker, because we can now hear from Tumi Moagi, who is an Ecobank Fintech Fellow and co-founder at Growth Factor Technologies, where she leads on expansions and partnerships. And Tumi can tell us what it's like integrating into Ecobank's platform. You heard earlier from Jiba that initially it was just 10% of those fintech companies that were integrated. It's now 30%, and Tumi is an example of that. Welcome to you, Tumi.
Thank you, Henry, and thank you, Jiba. Yes, like Jiba mentioned, there's so much gap between startups and also the banks. So creating an ecosystem where we're able to help each other helps with also market access and also automation. So let me first introduce what Growth Factor does. So Growth Factor provides automation for trade financing in the African eco space. And we rolled out with Invoicia, which is a marketplace for invoice factoring. When we started, we were matching high net worth individuals with small businesses that provide goods and services to reputable companies, but their main problem was delayed payments. So matching these two, of course, was a need from a high net worth individual, which is looking for quick access and quick returns, but also giving back, and also this SME that typically might not qualify to get finance from a bank, but they are reputable, or they are. I would say that we had to create methods in which we qualify them to access capital. But now, as you know, when you are a startup, you can only do so much, especially when it comes to capital. So partnering with Ecobank, what this means for us was that we're actually able to help these SMEs grow, because now when they come to Invoicia and we're able to assist them through the high net worth individuals, because they're progressing, they come back for more finance. But we are not a bank, and we cannot afford to increase our risk in that manner. Now, the relationship was not only seen as a financial partner, but as to how can we actually automate and centralize invoice financing. We know that banks also have their own methods in which they translate invoice financing, and they also do the middle office operations for this, but there's also gaps of automation, and that is something we can offer. Meanwhile, we can actually move some of this market to the banks and the financiers that are able to handle these customers. So in terms of automation, of course, being in the Ecobank being in the Ecobank sandbox meant that it was easier for things like conducting KYC through the APIs and onboarding. We're able to quickly onboard our customer without taking 2 days of analysis. We're just one integration where a customer just inputs their account number. We already are able to analyze their bank statements without actual paperwork, and the middle office operation where there's a lot of handshake between one legal manager and correspondence to other managers. This is actually done through one platform where everything is quite transparent and central. So that is key to actually creating what we would call a centralized unit in the financing space, especially for trade financing, because when an SME comes to the platform for invoice financing, they also are open to opportunities of export financing and the likes. So that is where we started as our growth factor. And of course, the partnership with Ecobank, like Jibo mentioned earlier, this opens up opportunity to expand, especially when we started in Ghana. This meant that there was some limitation to what we can achieve in terms of KYC, in terms of even financing by itself, because that market is also it's a developing market. So there's certain things that there's lack of data in some aspects. So certain things that are done manually. But if we have access to the other 33 markets, there are some markets that are more developed than where we currently started, and that means we get to move faster and we get exposure to more businesses that can actually access working capital.
Tremendous to me. And tell us more about the integration with Ecobank. What was that like, and what has made it a success so far?
All right, so going back to simple things like KYC, when you're onboarding a business and these people do not have, especially in markets that still don't have centralized data. So when these businesses come, they still have to give you the paperwork, where now this creates delays. For you to ask an SME owner to print out their bank statement or go to their bank, bring a bank statement so that you can upload it onto your platform, that is another day or two of work. But then integrating with Ecobank and being on the sandbox, providing APIs that actually just connect a customer's account number to basically their transactions, and you're able to do the rating and the analysis based on their financial operations or performance, and you're able to give them an answer instantaneously to say you qualify or you don't qualify because of these reasons, which you can correct. So that means that onboarding moves faster from 2 days to a minute, 2 days to just 30 minutes. And that means we're able to serve more customers. And in terms of invoice factoring, having a centralized and an automated system also means that you're able to finance more customers faster than before, when there's a physical handshake of documentation between one department and another inside the bank.
That's tremendous. I mean, it sounds like win-win-win for you, win for Ecobank, a win for the SME. Tumi, thank you very much for sharing your experiences with us today. Do stay on the line, because there may be some questions for you from the journalists. And journalists tuning in, remember to ask your questions in the chat box in French or in English, and we'll put them through to you. Now, let us welcome Kiru Mohoya, the founder and CEO of Fingo Africa, the first youth-focused Pan-African neobank. Now, Fingo graduated from the acclaimed Y Combinator program this summer and was voted one of the favorite companies by TechCrunch, and went on to raise $3 million USD. Okay, Kiru, hello to you.
Henry, pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm hearing great things about your mobile banking application, which is allowing young people to come in and access financial services that previously they may have been shut out of. So tell us how it works, your mobile application.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I guess the first step is describing the problem. The first problem we're solving for is access. Today, it takes about 48 hours to a couple of months for a young person to just access a bank account. They physically have to travel to their bank branch and hand in a couple of documents, and then wait anxiously to be able to be given the right to have an account. And then from that, receive their income and transact. So with Finger, we're making this process 4 minutes. So with the penetration of smartphones increasing, and as Jiba mentioned earlier, the importance of financial services in everyday life becoming, synonymous with how we live our lives. With Finger, you can download an app and in 4 minutes be able to open an account, transact for a much cheaper fee than you would with existing providers, and be effectively able to run your financial life. And the reason we are targeting young people is because as we actually enabled ourselves to access financial services, we face the same struggles. And we look at the youth bulk in Africa, and we have about 500 million young people who face the exact same struggle of just access. So what we've done with Ecobank is really special, because for the first time, we are able to give, one, this easy access to financial services to young people, and two, we're able to design it for young people. So we're able to actually customize our application and say, hey, legacy banks and existing applications, you haven't quite tailored your solutions to the biggest population in the market. And so we've made our app fun to use. We've made it easy to transact. We've made it cheaper, and we've given young people an institution or an application, a financial application that they can love and be endeared towards. And all the while doing this with a really promising partner that has given us expertise and the ability to enter this hyper-regulated market through a partnership and an API that was really easy to integrate to. So that's in a nutshell what Finger does.
I like the fact that you talk about Ecobank being a great partner as opposed to a legacy bank, because legacy makes it sound like a dinosaur, but that's not the case with Ecobank. They're embracing the youth and embracing this new technology with enthusiasm, which is fantastic. But tell us more then about how this partnership works, the partnership with Ecobank. How is it fruitful to scaling up your business?
Absolutely. So the first challenge you face as a fintech is, one, obviously you're a startup. So you're young and you have no access to market. So that's the first challenge that Ecobank helps you overcome. Without access to market, you actually cannot launch your app, you cannot hold deposits, you can't enable transactions. And a lot of regulators on the continent still don't have, and across the world actually, still don't have regulations and ability, and don't offer the ability for fintechs to be able to actually just enter the market. So with Ecobank, a bank that has been regulated for numerous years, that has been compliant with various central banks, what they enable us is, one, the access to market. So we don't have to go seeking our own license. We don't have to the experience of the, even the capital to go out and, seek some form of licensing. So that cuts down the time and the entry to market. The second thing they provide is expertise. So we're able to price our products. We're able to offer various list of products, from savings to personal accounts to business accounts, straight through Ecobank's API. And the third thing is scale. It is a beautiful thing to say that we can serve Africa's youth population, not just a single market, not just one country or not just one region, but the 33 markets that Ecobank is in. So it's really incredible to have regulatory expertise, to be able to price products and introduce a multi-product range, and lastly, to be able to offer that scale across different regions on the continent.
And tell me, what has demand been like from the youth that you're serving?
So I will start off with the severity of the problem and then go to demand. So in different regions, for example, in East Africa, where we're based, again, it takes 48 hours to open an account. And every single year, there are 1 million young people in Kenya opening an account for the very first time. So we are still in beta. So we've got about 20,000 on our waiting list. We actually just integrated the API. So in the last few weeks, so we are the first fintech to be able to kind of build on this mission of Ecobank's banking as a service platform. So we just integrated the API. We are currently beta with a couple hundred users and making transactions as we go, and looking forward to a launch in East Africa and then beyond that. So we're looking forward to serving the first-time account openers in Kenya, and beyond that, the rest of Africa.
Excellent. Now, for those journalists who are ready to ask questions, please put your questions through into the chat box, the Q&A. You'll see it there at the bottom right of your screen. And also, in the meantime, if you'd like to find out more about Fingo and Growth Factor, please check out the websites below. They're there in the chat box right now. Okay, so let's see if we've got any questions at the Q&A coming through. And in the meantime, while we're waiting for those questions, I need to ask both of you, both you, Kiru, and you, Tumi, what it's like being alumni, you know, being fellows of this wonderful FinTech challenge. Okay, so let's find out from you, Tumi, if you can come back to us. What's it like being a FinTech fellow?
Sorry, I was muted there. It's like we've mentioned, there's so much opportunities, there's so much access to opportunities, and the environment that the Ecobank team provides is one of empowerment. So just tell us what you need and we will provide where possible. And it is up to you as a startup owner to basically know exactly what is the direction of your business, what do you need in order to succeed, and also be realistic. You know, you cannot go to a bank and say, give me all your customers, but you can go to a bank and say, I've got a solution that can give you a wider access to a bigger market. And this is what I'm bringing to the table. If you bring this, we're able to grow together. You know, so being an alumni also, means that there's recognition. You know, you can actually, when you're talking to other people, when you're talking to your competitors, when you're talking to even competitors of Ecobank, and you tell them, no, we're actually with this Pan-African bank, we're partnered with this Pan-African bank. To them, that is good recognition that shows that work is being done, that shows that, there's stability in what you're delivering, and they also want to be a part of that.
That's tremendous. So I can see that Tumi is very enthusiastic about being a FinTech fellow with the challenge. And Kiru, what about you? What's it like being a fellow, being an alumnus of this program?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of to echo what Tumi said, we are kind of in a special bracket of startups that are able to offer financial services with a really trusted partner. So financial services, one of the key elements is trust. So being able to earn the trust of users and just being a part of Ecobank and being a part of Ecobank means that people actually trust Fingo to be able to deliver financial services that we've promised to young people. And young people, especially in a digital, really rapidly digitizing world, have a lot of noise and apps and everything going on, but having a really solid bank like Ecobank backing us and being able to integrate with them means that we have trust and we have the support of a really strong brand. And I will also say that leaning on Ecobank's team, because amongst a lot of the banks on the continent, they're actually one of the first ones to have this really exciting fintech partnership, and with that means that develop their in-house expertise on fintechs. So we get to learn from them. There's a lot of information sharing. We get to understand how to make our systems better. We get to understand different markets better. So it's been a really exciting partnership. We've gotten a great trusted brand that makes users trust us more. And we've gotten to learn a lot from their expertise as well. So it's been tremendous.
Excellent. Let me remind our journalists that they can ask the questions in either French or English, and you can do it through the Q&A chat box at the bottom, and you can find out more about the two businesses that we have showcased, the two FinTech alumni, Fingo and Growth Factor. The websites are there, www.fingo.africa and www.invoicia.com. I think Jiba needs to come back, because Jiba, you are the senior advisor on FinTech to the Ecobank Group. This was launched, the FinTech Challenge, in 2017. Here we are 4 years into it. We're seeing tremendous growth. What are the targets that you're setting yourself in order to make sure that this growth continues and more companies like this are brought into the sandbox, brought into the family, and can really make a major impact on the continent?
Thank you very much, Henry, for the question. So First of all, we want to improve the experience of the FinTech Challenge year over year. So you mentioned that we started it in 2017. And at that time, the selection process was quite different. So lately, during the latest years, what we did is that, first of all, we made sure that we were sending the right message to the ecosystem. So we sat down with the team, make sure that we identify what was the bank pain point. What solution are we looking for? What are the issues that we and our customers are facing? So it usually takes weeks for us to do that exercise. And once we are ready, it's at that time that we now communicate to the world and invite fintechs to participate. The second thing that we did to improve the experience is that we made sure that we have an internal committee that we call the Ecobank Fintech Steering Committee that is in charge of reviewing the project and making sure that at the end of the process, we optimize the chances to partner with the fintechs so that we are all benefiting from this experience, both the fintechs and ourselves. We are able to partner together, innovate together, and grow together. The third improvement that we made on the challenge is that we then gave them access to our API through the sandbox. So last year, it was a privilege for them because the sandbox was not open yet. So the fintech that participated to the challenge they were the first testing it before we went live. And it gave them the opportunity to concretely understand the solutions that we have, our platform, and how they could improve their solution based on the services that they have. So it was a very good exercise because at the end of the process, it enabled them to come back to Ecobank and say, this is how we think we can concretely integrate, and this is how we think we can win together. The other part of the challenge that we are promoting as much as possible is, as I said earlier, the fintechs are startups. So what is very important for them is to grow their customer base, and it's also to be able to raise funds. So the fellowship program that we have is something that we are running since 2017. And along the way, we are adding more investors in the process. But moving forward, we actually want accelerators and investors to be part of the process even before we announce the finalists. So we want them we want to leverage on their experience on the ecosystem to help them better identify the most promising companies, fintechs in the continent, and make sure that we provide all the support that they need for them to become successful companies and hopefully become unicorns in Africa. So that's what we can do.
Everybody wants to be a unicorn, Jiba. Everybody wants to. Now, can you respond briefly to this one? I think you've addressed it already, but Chinyere this is a journalist, Chinyere, who's asking in specific terms, what are some of the benefits the FinTech Challenge have brought to Ecobank since the launch? That's a question from Chinyere. Jiba, can you answer that briefly?
So, what we usually say when we talk about the strategy, the FinTech strategy of Ecobank is that we want to leverage FinTechs to grow our reach, to extend our reach and grow revenue together. And that's something that we've been able to achieve with the FinTech Challenge because from the companies that we've been able to identify, with some of them, we've been able to build new solutions that we provided to our customers. Some of them bring innovations that we integrate in the services and the solutions that we are providing to our customers. But as I was saying earlier, what we want as Ecobank is to become a bank as a platform. So as much as possible, we want to make it easy for those fellows and the fintechs in general to integrate with our services and serve their customers based on our infrastructure and all the investment that we made during the last decade. So to me, we talked very well on the partnerships that we are building with them. So the way we see growth factor, for example, or Fingo, as I was saying earlier, is really for them to help us as Ecobank, as a solid and experienced bank, to be able to serve customers that we don't necessarily have access to with very innovative solutions.
Okay.
So that's how we've been able to achieve the target so far.
Thank you very much. And then this is a question from Patrick for Kiru. For Fingo, he asks, is your partnership with Ecobank exclusive, or do you plan to expand to partner with other banks across Africa to increase access to financial services for young people? That's to you, Kiru.
Thank you for the question. So the nature of the partnership is we've developed the partnership as a way to be really a platform, as Jiba mentioned. So a platform means it's non-exclusive on both sides. And what we've found is that we oftentimes gravitate to the partners that offer us the most timely services and the best services. And right now on the continent, we haven't met or seen a partner that has been able to offer us an API integration, the expertise and the level of kind of regulatory cover as Ecobank has. So right now the platform is non-exclusive, and I'm sure the idea is for more fintechs to be able to come into this platform non-exclusively, which means then that in markets that Ecobank may not be in, fintechs are ever ambitious, and we might want to take over the world and go Latin America and elsewhere, and that means that we are able to then go into different markets across the world in a non-exclusive way. But also it also means that for Fingo, from a Fingo perspective, we're able to really put in the best products and services, and so Ecobank has a selection of services that we love and are putting in, and if there are services that they don't have in certain markets, we're then able to collect that and serve our users as best as possible using a plethora of services. So the overall strategy is to be a platform ourselves and to be able to integrate the best of services. Amongst those is Ecobank's.
Excellent, thank you very much indeed, Kiru, for that, and Tumi and Jaba as well. Fantastic. I think it's time we move to our, I think in French they call it the pièce de résistance, because we need to know who is going to make it to the grand finale in a few weeks. We've been building up to this moment. It's time to announce our top 5 finalists. And remember, there were nearly 900 at the beginning. Now there are only 5 who are chasing the ultimate prize of the Ecobank Fintech Challenge. So let me invite the Ecobank Group Executive O&T, Dr. Tomisin Fashina, to take the stage. Please, Dr. Tomisin, are you ready to unveil the names of our top 5 finalists? Wonderful. I knew you were.
Ready. Thank you very much for the proceedings. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, Jiba. I think I also saw Denike on the call. Thank you very much, all colleagues. And of course, just listening to Kiru and to me, they sound like our public relations officers. I think it's so good to listen to you. And it's proof positive of the efforts that we're putting in to partner with fintech across Africa. This year we have 5 finalists, and I don't know if anybody is beating the drums. So the drums beating, I'm announcing the top 5 finalists that have made it. You may not be part of the top 5, but it does not mean that your solution is bad or your solution is not needed. I only say that speaking to us, the specific needs that we have this time, these are the top 5 finalists, but please don't give up. Continue to put in more effort, and who knows, maybe next year will be your turn. However, without delaying it any further, we have in no particular order. This does not mean anybody is top number 1 or number 5. In no particular order, we have Anna Data Limited, we have Motito, Oko Finance, Fourth Line Limited, and Trove Finance. Those are the top 5 fintechs that will make it to the top 5 finalists that will make it to the final session coming up shortly. Thank you very much.
Excellent, Dr. Thomason. So before we let you go, and indeed before we meet the people behind those 5 wonderful finalists, what are the next steps?
Thank you very much. The next step is we go in for the grand finale. And the grand finale will take place next month, where we expect 3 winners to be announced. So, you know, if 3 winners out of 5, it's almost like saying everybody is a winner at the end of the day. Because yes, even for the top 5, once you make it to the finalists, you become inducted into the Ecobank Fintech Hall of Fame. So everybody is a winner, but we expect that there'll be top 3 winners. Subsequent communications will follow after this press conference, and we will tell you more. All the finalists will be invited to participate to our fellowship program, that's the FinTech Fellows, and will be introduced to our accelerator and investor partner network. Then subsequently, the ultimate goal is to build a strong and long-term partnership with all the fellows and see how we can create win-win benefit for everybody as part of our Ecobank as a service platform. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Dr. Thomasin Fashina, for joining us there. Dr. Thomasin is the Ecobank Group Executive O&T with that announcement. Well, let's meet the 5 finalists. From Anadata, we have Uzo Echina Chuma. You're there. And we've also got from Fourth Line Limited, Tinyaka Nakasamu. From Motito, we have Toby Martins. From Oko Finance, we have Ivan Kategaya, and from Tro Finance, we have Oluwatomi Sholanke. So thank you very much. You're all standing by. I'm going to ask each of you to say in a nutshell, what do you do, and to respond to the fact that you are now an Ecobank Fintech finalist. So this is for the benefit of our journalists. They're meeting you for the first time. Let's talk to Anadata's Uzo Echina Chuma. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is exciting for us at Anadata. We are a geospatial location technology-based company looking to provide location technology and data analysis solutions in Nigeria and in Africa wide. For this contest, we come in with an address verification solution, and we are happy to have made it to this point thus far. We are happy to be here because Ecobank offers us a tremendous opportunity to implement our technology and our ideas within the African space. And I'm not sure there's anyone who has the reach that Ecobank can give us, and we're excited to be here. Thank you so much. And we look forward to a very interesting and very lovely partnership going forward. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Uzo, for that. And if any journalists, whether you're speaking in English or French, want to ask questions of Uzo Echina Chuma from Anadata, then type your questions in the Q&A chat box, and he will be standing by, as will the other 4 finalists. And we're going to meet them now. From Fourth Line Limited, we have Tinyanka Nkasumu. And Tinyanka is there. Tell us about Fourth Line, about yourself, where you're from, and what your hopes are now that you are one of the top 5.
Well, thank you very much. As you say, my name is Chianika Nakasam. I'm the managing director for Fourth Line Limited. So we are basically a fintech that has been working with farmers for 2 years. We came up with a product we call Pollen, which is basically a USSD menu for village banking and e-commerce held on a Celo blockchain. So our product is interoperable across telecoms, and the bigger goal is we aim to provide an ultra-efficient ecosystem where users can conduct peer-to-peer lending and also generate data where they can be credit scored by big banks. Thank you very much.
And whereabouts in the country are your farmers? Where are they spread?
Actually, we are in Zambia. So we've got about 9 million farmers in Zambia. So it's quite a huge market.
Wow, fantastic, Tinyanka. Thank you very much. Now for Motito, when I saw the name, I thought that's surely a very nice sugary cocktail drink, but I know you do something different from that. Toby Martins, tell us about Motito, where you're based and what you're doing and how you feel about being one of the top 5.
Thank you so much. It's exciting to be part of this this challenge. Motito is promoting financial inclusion and increased access to credit on the African continent. The way we do this right now is helping small businesses offer interest-free credit at point of sale. And I must tell you, this, it's a privilege to be here because we believe that with this, challenge with Ecobank, we can propel our vision of promoting financial inclusion really, really, really fast.
Tremendous. And you've got a good spread of potential clients and customers, consumers.
Exactly. So on one side, you have the merchants who want to increase their sales through a platform like Motito. On the other side, you have people that want to access some kind of credit, and then we also have lenders as well, people who actually provide the facilities on the Motito platform. So yeah, we have three different consumer segments and partners as well.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that, Toby. On to Oko Finance. Ivan Katagaya is there. And Ivan, the same question to you. Tell us about your business, where you are working, where you're based, and how you feel about being one of the top 5.
Thank you, Bonsu. I must admit, I feel so fantastic to be a finalist for the Ecobank Fintech Challenge 2021. And in a special way, I feel privileged and honored to be representing Oko Finance to this level. Basically, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Ecobank for allowing startups to tap into this rich immense of their market up to 33 countries. But then for us, Oko, the Oko team, also I would like to thank them for their hard work and dedication to coming up with solutions of trying and working hard to improve on the plight of farmers. So basically what we do is that we're a new player in the crop insurance market, where we use new technologies in satellite imagery and weather forecast to automate and simplify claim management. So currently we are operating in West Africa, in Mali, fully, and then we just completed our pilot projects last year in Uganda, where I am based currently, and we're working on launching our full scale starting next year. So yeah, basically we're working with around 10,000 farmers in West Africa, and from our previous successful pilots in Uganda, we served close to 1,600 farmers who are interested in crop insurance. So there is immense reach, there is a lot of opportunity in this in order to improve on the plight of farmers and make sure that they are unbanked, they are able to be banked. So this partnership, this strategic partnership with Ecobank will enable farmers to be able to access microcredit because they can be banked when they are banked by crop insurance. And also we look forward to creating more opportunities for the youth by making agriculture and farming more attractive again.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that, Ivan. And before we meet our final top 5 finalists, let me remind our journalists watching and writing down information, preparing to file their stories, that if you want to ask a question, whether in English or French, go to the Q&A chat box, type your question there, and then we'll receive it and I'll put it to our 5 finalists, or indeed anybody else you've heard from that you want to speak to in order to write your story. Okay, Troll Finance is the final member of our top 5 finalists, and we have Oluwatomi Sholanke there. Oluwatomi, tell us about Troll Finance, where you're based, what your reach is, and how you feel about being one of the top 5 today.
Okay, my name is Tomi Sholanke, founder, CEO of Troll Finance. We're based out of Lagos, Nigeria, and what we do is we provide infrastructure for individuals and financial institutions to trade and also access global securities. So think trading of stocks or fractional stocks on the US stock exchanges, other asset classes as well. Same thing across different exchanges across the world. So essentially the goal is democratizing financial access for all and sundry, irrespective of your income levels or geographical locations, looking to scale it to becoming a Pan-African brand. Currently with more than 10 plus financial institutions in Africa and over 100,000, retail investors in Nigeria as well. Super excited about the opportunity to be here and the kind of partnerships or possibilities with Ecobank.
That's tremendous, Oluwatomi. And I'm just looking at the prizes. So the cash prizes, of course, $15,000, $12,000, and $10,000 for the final three, and they'll be chosen and announced next month. And as we heard, they'll be inducted into the Ecobank Fintech Fellowship. We've met a couple of fellows already. They'll be able to pursue integration, potentially launch products within the group, mentoring and networking forums, priority access to Ecobank's venture capital partners for funding opportunities. Let's see if we have any further questions from our journalist colleagues. I'll give you a moment just in case you're writing a question. But in the meantime, I just want to know from our finalists just what they're hoping for from this competition. Uzo Echina from Anadata, what are you hoping for? Why did you come into this competition?
So for us, thank you again, once again. For us, it's an opportunity to access a very wide market. The problem we are trying to tackle is one which emanated from the informal or unplanned urbanization of Africa, with Nigeria in focus. And KYC is a huge requirement for the regulated financial space. And one of the legs of KYC is address verification. And we intend, our solution seeks to automate the entire solution and the entire spectrum of address verification so that we can reduce onboarding times and reduce cost of onboarding. Implementing this with Ecobank will give us an excellent, first of all, support system, learning from all the regulatory and technical expertise that they have. When I mean technical, I'm not just talking about the tech part of things, but for also the core banking part of things too. And then it will also give us an opportunity to get into the other markets, which may not be similar to Nigeria, where we're working out of. So we're excited to be here.
Wonderful, yes, and we're excited to have you, Uzo Echina. Let's hear from Chinyinaka from Fourth Line. Why did you enter this competition? What are you hoping to get from it?
Okay, thank you. I think when we built out our solution, we really wanted to have multiple cash in and cash out points. And we tried to approach banks, of which they couldn't actually give us an opportunity. So when we saw this, we looked at, okay, this is a big opportunity, leveraging on the infrastructure of Ecobank and integrating maybe with their payment APIs is a game changer. And that's something that I want to do. The second thing is our big vision is to pilot or maybe to launch in most countries in Africa. Mm-hmm. So doing it with Ecobank is an opportunity that actually we want to do and experience that. And lastly, we also need since we're a startup, we really need a support, technical support and business support in navigating the world of business and finance. Thank you.
Excellent, Chinyinaka. Thank you very much indeed. Toby Martins from Motito. Why did you enter and what are your hopes?
Yeah, so for us, one of the reasons that we actually decided to come on board is one, regulation, right? We are in a regulated space as well, and having a partner such as Ecobank, who has experience in this, with regulation and has been regulated for years, means we wouldn't have an issue. The other one is, having a financial partner. We are promoting, access to credit for young people, and that is also important. advisory is also something that we also thought of, because again, having people that have been in the game much longer can help you navigate the ecosystem. We saw an opportunity, but then there are people that could help with the whole with the whole navigation of the ecosystem. So that was also something that we thought of. Another one is reach, right? The fact that Ecobank is in a lot of countries, and moving and expanding our products to multiple countries with a partner like Ecobank becomes a breeze. So yeah, those are some of the things we're hoping to get from this program. Thank you very much.
Excellent, Toby. Well, you're down to 5 from 900. Let's hear from Ivan at Oko Finance. Your hopes, please, because you entered and you've done very well to get this far, but what are your hopes?
Thank you, Bonsu, once again. One of our hopes as Oko is to tap into the resources which Ecobank has, like the APIs and the sandbox, to integrate also the tools we're working from our technology team, so that we can reach as many people as possible. And then secondly is, you can't underlook, or you can't go without saying about the PR that comes with a huge brand like Ecobank. This will definitely enable Oko to spread its wing in its 33 countries. And maybe third is, if you look at the continent we're in, you're talking about 60% of the population is involved in agriculture. So this will enable our solution to scale as fast as possible in these 33 countries. And those are my hopes. And maybe lastly is the top prize, which will be good for our scaling, especially in our country, Uganda, to move as fast as possible. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. And finally, let's go to Tommy Sholanke, Troll Finance. Why did you enter, and what are your hopes?
Yeah, thanks for the question. So basic reason is, more importantly, Pan-African scale. We have launched for a while and have been in the market and been able to scale to a decent extent. But we're looking for partners that we can integrate into, or can integrate into our systems as well, that would help realize our dreams of actually becoming a Pan-African business as well, or a much bigger business. Finding those synergy points are the biggest reasons why we applied for this.
Excellent. So, Tommy, thank you very much to you, to Ivan, to Toby, to Chinaka, to Uzo Achena, all of you, for getting thus far. 900 down to 5. We wish you very, very well for the grand finale, which will take place in a few weeks' time. Let me thank Dr. Tomisin Fashina as well for unveiling the 5. And also to Kiru and to Tumi as well, our alumni of the FinTech family, which is fantastic. And also, let's also thank Jabba Jallo, who has been spearheading this drive to create this family and to grow Ecobank's FinTech platform by reaching out to the youth and bringing them on board through the sandbox and all the other platforms which are going to integrate the brightest and best into the Ecobank family. So, and thank you, dear journalists, for attending this press conference to announce the top 5 of the 2021 Ecobank Fintech Challenge. They will now make their way to that grand finale. Only 3 of them will win the ultimate prizes, but as you said earlier, all shall have prizes. Thank you for your interest as you remain valuable partners of Ecobank. A press release will be shared to all journalists with key contacts for any media requests. I'm Henry Bonsu saying thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir, and see you in a few weeks for the grand finale. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, everybody. Wonderful.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.